My name is Christy Mader. I'm a massage therapist, and we're here at Boulder House in Victoria, British Columbia.
And my name is Gabriel, and I'm a kinesiologist here in Victoria. And we're just going to look together on some movements to increase the strength of the shoulders and take some load off the neck. Okay, so here we're just going to look at a few exercises to help strengthen the shoulders and the back. There's two movement patterns we're all really familiar with. It's this, pressed up, clenching the neck. This is where we get a lot of stress. Everybody has this problem. A lot of people also have this shoulders forward, neck forward position, like I'm typing at a computer. The best way to address that issue is really we just need to strengthen some of the muscles that help us keep in good posture. So there's a few easy strengthening exercises we can do. First one here, Christy is lying on the bench, nice and easy. What we're going to try to do is start using her lower traps and her rhomboids, lift her shoulders back, and without lifting the shoulders up and putting pressure on the neck. So keeping the neck nice and long. Christy's going to reach her arms out and create like a Y, keeping her shoulders down and activating through her back. Just do it a couple times so they can see. Good. And what we're doing is we're retraining. So Christy will do it wrong here where she squeezes the neck up. And this is what a lot of people do, where the shoulders want to come forward and up and then come up. But right now I'm working on just how far I can go back with the shoulders out wide. Doesn't matter how far up you can get. Everyone's going to be different. What matters is just that we're reaching up, reaching with the shoulder blades down towards the back pocket. She's going to breathe in, lift up. And as she breathes out, just totally let it be released. Breathe in, lift up. Again, reaching the shoulder blades to the back pocket. Breathe out, release. Okay, we'll talk about another movement pattern. So working on activation of the lower traps. This one that we're just doing is good for strengthening, but sometimes we don't always have the lower traps activated, and the upper trap is always on, always on, always on. So that puts a lot of pressure on the neck where the upper trap inserts. So what we want to do is start activating the lower trap. So if you're working with somebody, you're even working by yourself, you can work the lower trap activation by literally just upward rotating the scapula. The way we're going to do this is draw like a W with the arms out to the side. As she reaches up, the shoulder blade twists a little bit, and part of that gets pulled down by the lower trap. What she wants to do, just relax. What I can do if I'm helping somebody is I can have her retract her shoulder blade or push it toward the sky, and then I can find her medial border. So I just find her medial border, and then I can find where the lower trap is inserted. Now I have right here, I can just give her a little bit of feedback. It's hard to do on yourself, but you can feel for right here, just the lower middle of your back. As she comes up, she's going to go out wide. I want to feel her pull from right here, just like it turns on. Good. Yeah, that was good. Turn it on, pull right here, pull it down. Good. Yeah. See, do you feel at the end pulling on? Yeah. So it's kind of turning on there at the end, right as she reaches up toward the sky. So sometimes you may have to feel a little bit or even have a friend feel. If it's not turning on, just get it a little bit. Same thing, and you can relax, let the arms go. Same thing, relaxing the pressure on the upper trap. Now in this position, we are still using a lot of rhomboids and other back muscles to lift the arms up. So if you find your back muscles getting tired, just relax for a minute. We're really working on the shoulder blade movement. So what we're going to do now is try standing. For somebody who's a little bit more advanced or really wants to feel a little bit more strengthening for the lower trap, we can do basically the same thing standing. She's going to come up to W. The reason this is a little bit harder because now she's got to use her lower trap to help actually lift her arm against gravity. So what we want to see is that this shoulder blade, as she reaches up, and you can reach out, you can even start to see how it starts to rotate in a little bit like that. So that's what we want to see. So it's just the same thing. I just take this medial border and I'm feeling activation here. Go ahead. And it pulls. Good, good. This one, it's going to be a little bit easier to feel the more out wide we take the elbows. Again, keeping the shoulders down. Take the elbows out because see how that pulls the shoulder blade back? Nice. Good. And then active. So there's another benefit for this as well, of this exercise, and I'll just have Christy turn around. Is that another reason we put a lot of strain in the neck? Because we have the tight front of our body. So when she does this exercise, she's going to go up. I actually encourage her to take her elbow as back as she kind of can, if that's comfortable. And that way, as she's doing this, go up and down, up. She can pull the elbow straight down, and that can start to open some of these chest muscles as well. And you can bring the elbow down to your side as well, kind of pulling it back. opening the chest, good, and up. And then when you go up, contracting the lower trap, relaxing the upper trap. When you go down, elbows wide, expand the chest. You feel a little bit of stretching?
Yeah, totally. And this is a great position to be climbing in. So when you're climbing, thinking about stabilizing your shoulders, having your shoulders be open instead of rounded. And this is what we see a lot with climbers.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Let's do a couple other exercises just to help build a little bit of stability in the shoulder. When we have stability in the shoulder, then we can relax a lot of the other shoulder girdle, chest muscles. And all we're going to do, why don't you turn and face me so the camera can see, is I'm just going to have her lift the bar up behind her. Good. So actually what I'll have you do is straighten your elbows. I know I didn't warn you I was going to do this to you before. And just lift with this, go straight. So no elbow. This is going to lift back. Yeah, like that. And then just relax and let the elbows come down. Good. So what a lot of people feel is they start to feel the front capsule of the shoulder kind of pushes back, and that's a big limitation for people. It happens a lot because we're always tight. We're all sitting like this, just tightening the capsule, shortening it, shortening it. So this is creating some stability in the shoulder joint, glenohumeral joint. Also a good help for some of that pinching. Sometimes we have supraspinatus pinching, so this is going to help release some of that by loosening the joint capsule. And this is a weight, so if you do like 10 of these, you probably start to feel like some muscular effort.
Yeah.
But if you are starting to feel a little bit muscular effort at 10, just do, like I said, a no weighted bar. Cool? Awesome. Let's do one more. So what I want to do now is for, now this is for supraspinatus, and it's the same thing that I was just talking about with the pressure. We often have really strong delts. And especially you guys are climbers, are going to have really strong delts as well. It's really hard to strengthen supraspinatus. It's really important for strengthening the shoulder, getting stability, so that we're not always pulling on the neck, because we're always working the delt a lot of times at the same time as we do supraspinatus. But when we're in a position that's reaching down, the delt is not in a really good place to contract. So it really doesn't start to contract until I lift my arm up here. Now I have a good joint angle and I can do the delt. So what I'm going to do with the strap, and you can do it anywhere at home, I'm just going to have her step right on the strap, boom, like this, and I'm going to have this, put this in her hand. And you might be able to, you can make this harder as well. We'll start really easy. She's going to keep her shoulder down and almost just think she's going to pull this, but reach it towards the ground, out. Good. So did you see the extension that just happened in the shoulder when she did that? Good. And then relax down. So you don't want to do too much. You're going to feel that this, you all of a sudden get really strong at a certain point. About here, you start feeling like you could yank that, right? So that's like end range, because now you're starting to work delt. Delts are a lot stronger. So just reach out to the side. Good. See how the shoulder's coming down? She's reaching out. That looks awesome. If you want to make this exercise harder, you can collect a little bit more of the strap, or you can use a heavier band as well.
So these next two things, we're just focusing on moving the shoulder blade, and it's really important that the shoulder blade moves when you're moving your arm, and a lot of people think that the shoulder blade needs to stay still. So this is a good chance for you to see if you can move your shoulder blade separate from your ribcage.
And also importantly, to move your ribcage, we're talking about causing a neck compression, right? So it's also, you should be able to move your shoulder blade without feeling a lot of tension in your neck, throat, chin, jaw. That should still be able to stay released while the shoulder blade wraps around the ribcage too, right? Does that make sense? Without pulling on all this stuff, right? Yeah. Cool. So what she's going to do is we're basically just going to do activation strengthening for the serratus anterior. It's easier if you do standing like this, okay? So that way the serratus is going to move forward and back. It's going to move the shoulder forward without having a lot of weight. It needs to carry a lot of weight, okay? So all we're going to do is use the ball to keep the weight of her arm. Elbow's nice and loose, but we're not using the elbow, so do it wrong with the elbow. So we're not rolling the ball with the elbow. And we're also not rolling the ball with the body this way. We're actually just rolling the ball with the shoulder blade. So shoulder blade reaches forward, and show a reach so they can see. See how it's reaching, shoulder blade is extended. Then you come back. You just let that shoulder blade fall back into place. If you want to work on that strengthening like we said, you can pull that shoulder blade all the way back as well. So the shoulder blade comes all the way back, and then we push, kind of gentle stretch, shoulder blade meets the rib cage. Go back, forward. Exactly. Just like that. Awesome. Good. And then what we'll do is we'll just add some weight to this. So a lot of people will probably find that they can get the ball quite easily at first. It's just a way to kind of learn the movement once you know how to do the movement, then it's good to put some weight on. And we're just doing a little bit of weight where she's leaning over, but as you start to get stronger and stronger, you can start to do more and more weight until you just flat push-up style as well. So now what she's going to do, same thing, the elbows are nice and loose, but she's not moving in the elbows. She's going to let her spine go in, and then she's going to push her spine out, all the way out, stretching gently across the shoulder blades. Again, letting it go, fall in and push out. This one, as she falls in, now gravity's working, so she doesn't have to think too much about the shoulder blades coming back because gravity's working. She just lets go, but she has to think push, push out, shoulder blades go down. See how the neck stays nice and long, so do it with clenching in the neck. So you can see the shoulders want to come up. This should look familiar, like desk position, right? So she goes like this is like desk position. That's not what we want. We want shoulder blades down. Shoulders almost push down as they go back. Good, good. And that looks awesome. Then you can keep making that harder once you get the movement. You can keep making that harder by stepping back, or even, like I said, doing a flat push-up action as well. As you go back, it's going to be harder to not tense the neck and jaw. So as you do that, just keep thinking loose jaw, long neck. Awesome. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's good.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.